Okay, hello everybody and welcome to our webinar. Today we're going to talk about optimizing during the lockdown. Hope everyone has been holding up well throughout this period of
Absolutely.
the unknown. So we're going to start off by having a look at who our speakers are today. So today we are here with myself, Mariah, and Tal Avni and Boaz Kida. And so I don't know if you could see them, we're now on the slides, but they were there just before on the webcam. So Boaz has always been heavily involved in hospitality. Him and his two brothers opened and ran a multitude of cafes over the years, and in doing so realized that there was very little support for cafe owners who were starting out the journey or were in it in general. And so it was out of that ACE was born, and eventually Independent, with the goal of changing the coffee industry from the inside. Together with Tal and his many years of experience as a cafe owner, manager, chef, barista trainer, really he's done everything, and business development manager, they developed an outstanding team of experts. And they've opened dozens of cafes in Australia over the last 10 years and have been in the industry for over 20 years. So they really know what they're doing. ACE is backed by one of the biggest coffee roasters, dairy and packaging companies in Australia with more than 50 years of experience. And together they've built and run many cafe models, everything from small kiosks to licensed cafes and bars. So we have a team that includes experts in operations, marketing, sales, lease negotiations, everything you need to make sure your cafe runs smoothly. And today we've gathered together to try and support our local cafes and other cafes throughout this turbulent time with things that are working within our cafes and networks so we can all work together to get through these tough times. Here are some of the cafes that we work with: Fibonacci, Lava, Jabiru, Haya, Thora. As you can see, they're all very different range of cafes, and so there's a lot of expertise there. Lockdown, it's been tough. Hands up if you have a questionable haircut right now. I know that I can't see Tal, but I feel like he might be in with this.
I feel the pain.
The same way we probably shouldn't be cutting our hair. If you're struggling with your cafe, it's always good to reach out to an expert because you still can, which is one of the fortunate things about this, is you can get some support online. Today, we're going to look at the following 5 things: the latest incentives and support mechanisms for cafes, social media, so what you should be doing is social media channels and your content, store design during lockdown, reviewing your stock and your menu, and then we're also going to have an opportunity for Q&A, so you get to actually ask experts your questions. There is the chat box. Pop it in the chat box. We also have a bunch of questions from people previously that we will be answering. Okay, latest incentives and support mechanisms. Tal is going to take this one away, and he's going to break it down according to states.
Yeah, I don't know if it's only me, but I don't see the full slide. It's a bit sliced for me. Yeah. Okay. Now, what I can say in general about the incentives, that there's a lot of them, and they keep evolving, or the criteria keep, they fine tune the criteria. So yeah, perfect. So what I can, what I'll do now, I'm really going to fly through it because I believe that anyone on this call, if you haven't already, you should go straight to the government. And what we'll do is we'll send, after this, we're just going to send a slide with all the links so you can really go and assess yourself what is the best grants that you can apply for. And I also suggest that if you have an accountant, that you go and get their advice as well. This is a good time to have a chat with your accountant. But overall, New South Wales has been in the lockdown for the longest at the moment, at least at this period. So there's a few grants. One of them is for business, which based on how much you dropped in sales over a 2 weeks period, you can maybe eligible for 7.5, 10.5, or 15 grand based on the drop in sales. This one you just need to go. I suggest go with your accountant. As cafe owners, we're all in the list of going the directly to get those grants. Those who are in HODS and can get them immediately. Those who are out might need to get a letter from their accountant. But other than that, I just suggest follow the link and you can take it to the next slide. I'm just going to run through those ones so we have some more info about to talk about the other topics. You can take it further, Mariah.
Yep.
Beautiful. Pay tax referral. Again, this is a New South Wales. Go to your accountant. This is where you can get rebate, you can get money or deferred payments based on your on what you need to pay as tax. And any business that pay payroll tax is eligible. So we can look at that. And the next one is also is a concession where you can get a reduction or a concession if you had a decline of more than 30% in turnover. And if you haven't, good on you. You can write down some of your tips and how you've done it. I did speak to a couple of occasions and they were not impacted much, and sometimes you just need to be lucky and you work hard to be lucky. But those who do impacted by more than 30%, you can apply for that. Next one. You need a coffee. Commercial landlords and tenants. So there's nothing major. It's not like the first round when we really got some support when it comes to landlord and we need to sit at the table and there were some concessions there. We did send some letters to landlords and we'll talk about later on. Some of them, we got some good response and we got some abatements. Some of them not, and sometimes you just need to again try to see who you're dealing with. When it comes to that, landlords do get some tax concessions, land tax concessions, and they're obligated to pass it on to you. So this is again something for you just to check. If they got any discounts, they have to pass it on to the tenants. They cannot keep it for themselves, so worth checking. Next one. In Victoria, welcome to lockdown as well, like some other states. Yeah, Mariah, the links will be sent together after this webinar, right? So just follow the links. This is where you can get $2,000 or $3,000, depends on your situation. If you're a licensed venue or non-licensed venue, and you can take it to the next. So there's some in Victoria, and also Victoria you can apply to Service Australia with regard to your employees directly. So this is just a Victoria one. Next one would be South Australia, where you have a business support package as well for $3,000, and the link is over there. Try to make sure I can do it under 5 minutes. Go next. Western Australia, again, up to a one-off $3,000 of cash support, and the link appeared there. Because you did have a bit of a lockdown, and there is also Queensland. If you go in Queensland, sorry, this is Australia-wide, you have a job saver, and go next. And these are the slides where you can actually find an up-to-date, and this being keep up-to-date all the time, find an up-to-date information based on your own state and based also on what is offered by the Commonwealth. Other than that, I'll pass it on to you, Mariah.
Okay,
so many grants because the situation is tough, but go and talk to your accountant. That will be the major point. Go, Mariah.
Okay, social media channels and content. So we're breezing through it because we're trying to keep it short and concise. What should your cafe be posting about? And I think this is a general rule for social media in general. Good ones to have it to keep in mind are either posts are educating, so this could be sharing information about your coffee, for instance, or coffee in general, educating people on that. Things like your latest hours or your latest menu, things that you're offering, so educating them on what's available. Entertaining, so we all love to be entertained, so you can share the funny parts of your day, even mistakes. You're human. Share the personality of people in your cafe. Share funny things related to coffee and how important it is in your life. So anything entertaining. Uplifting posts, so acts of kindness, happy customers, you overcoming challenges. Maybe you're developing something new and you're excited about that. You don't have to wait until you have the finished product. You can share the development of that. So anything that's uplifting is always great to share on social media. Now we're going to have a look at a couple of examples of things that are really trending that anyone who has a cafe could easily record. So one of them is making a coffee. It just makes it look really appetizing. Second one is very simple latte art. And I know that during lockdown, they may not see latte art. It goes in takeaway cup and the lid goes on. But seeing that on the social media and seeing that the cafe that you go to does make beautiful coffee, they've got great baristas, it does help with your cafe image and keep that top of mind. So we're going to have a quick look at those. I'd wait a million more. So beautifully shot. I hope you are not blown away because that wasn't too complicated and it was too.
That 2.5 million people watched it?
Once again, this is another video where these videos have millions of views. They're pretty simple to create, put in some effort with backdrop or film what you're actually doing in good light. And it reaches so many people. They might not all be in your area, they might not all be relevant, but it will help you come up in searches. It will help you stay top of mind. It's very simple to do marketing wise and an opportunity that all cafes should really be taking up. Last one is, for example, having interesting things that your cafe are doing, even during lockdown. Kits, you might want to do like an all-you-can-eat pancake kit. You might want to do any kinds of things that will make people want to share it with other people and say, hey, look, this is what I'm doing today. I'm trying to see if I can eat all of this, or I've got a lunch kit for at home. This was one where they obviously had an eating challenge. This is made by a customer for free, where they basically share their experience. And the same thing goes for at-home kits. People are sharing kits that they're getting for at home from cafes. You might be doing work from home packs. We've been seeing work from home packs for children, like actual school lunchbox style take home packs where it's got a little snack for them because they're starting from home. It's got their food, it's got a little apple juice or an orange juice, and I saw those retailing for $15. Same for parents. Parents are at home all day dealing with their children and working at the same time. Having work from home packs that they can buy from your cafe with lunch or dinner in it, and it has, for example, other little things that they can add on, snacks, maybe little cheese and crackers can really help brighten their day and is an easy way to make more money. Birthday packs, doesn't matter what time of the year it is, we all still have birthdays, we all still celebrate it. If you show that your cafe offers something nice that they can order for someone's birthday, maybe it's even just a gift pack with coffee and a pastry or anything like that, that's a great opportunity. Monthly marketing activities, so having something each month that will perk people up and be a little bit excited, particularly if we are stuck indoors, makes a big difference. So for example, Chocolate Day just went past. One of the campaigns we had wasn't particularly complicated. It was just, letting people know it's Chocolate Day. We all love Chocolate Day. Share it. We drizzled some chocolate on croissants. We provided posters for that. So if you're part of a group that does the marketing for you or helps supply it like us, so Independent provides different cafes with monthly marketing activities each month so you don't have to come up with it, then that makes it super easy to keep your customers engaged and keep them excited about new things that are coming up. Everyone loves to celebrate chocolate. Everyone loves to celebrate Coffee Day. There's so many things that we can still all be excited and happy about. Here's a few more ideas of things that we've seen other cafes successfully do. One of our cafes putting together charcuterie boards, like meat boards, fruit platters, which have been really popular. A little bit of something to be excited about on the weekends for families, for households a little bit bigger, a bit of luxury. Meals that they can finish off at home or easily cook themselves. So where most of the ingredients are already ready and they can make a home meal without the effort have been popular. And packs of pastries, if you're at home all week, bundling up things together so you can get whole packs of brownies instead of one or two, really helps boost your profits, and is also, if it's ready to go, people are very willing to purchase that. So next we're going to have a quick look at store design during lockdown. Why does the store design matter? Why do big companies invest lots of money into designing their stores carefully, and how can we apply this to lockdown?
He brings me out to this tennis court and he's drawn this line, the exact dimensions of our kitchen. Okay, garnish. This is burger finish. Got it. And then this is burger slide. Mix your soft drinks. Okay. We bring out our whole staff and we have them go through the motions, making pretend burgers and fries. All right, Steve, anticipate that. You got to keep the tray level. Over and over, hashing it out, choreographing it like some crazy burger ballet. No. So now stage left, deep fryer, stage right. I still think there's a third version. What do you want to move? I want to move everything. Back to stage left, please. Finally, after about 6 hours of this, we get it just right. It's a symphony of efficiency, not a wasted motion. Good form, Jasper. Feel good about those pickles. Catch up. Get your lazy Susan. Put your back into it, Seth. And pickles and pickle and mustard.
So this is a little scene out of a movie in which they are working on making their setup for a restaurant that everyone knows, McDonald's, as efficient as possible. They're trying to make it as ergonomically efficient as possible, have everything in the best position to make it really flow. And the takeaway from this is, for your cafe during lockdown, almost everyone will have reconfigured their cafe. Where are your customers going to pick up the food from? Where they're going to place the order? How can we minimize them coming into the store, because obviously it's all takeaway, masked up. So really thinking about the process where everything is laid out, moving things around can make a huge difference to your cafe, can save you a lot of money, can reduce the amount of staff that you need. So really having a look at your cafe without necessarily investing money into this, but actually just reshuffling things around and thinking, how can I make this as efficient as possible? And if you need help with that, there are experts that you can reach out to with Independent who can help you reconfigure your cafe so it runs as smoothly as possible, but absolutely worth really having a think about the layout of your cafe.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to have a look at reviewing your stock.
I can just squeeze in. If I can squeeze in a word there.
Absolutely.
Something which is really important, that right now we're doing the pivot, or we're changing our menu, and we want to make sure that whatever it is that we do, when you set up your cafe to start with, we always take steps. We measure, literally, when we set up a cafe, we measure how many steps between one task to another to make sure, because every 2 steps could be sometimes a part-time job or a full-time job of another person. Now we just pivot and we look at, okay, we have all those new lines, whether it's takeaway or that we need to accommodate for different flow. that could be quite significant. And I think, Mariah, that movie, they illustrated so beautifully that from time to time we neglect to take the time and pause and think, and then by doing those actions, it have very long-term effect. And if there's any opportunity during this lockdown for us as owners to take that time that we can, and everything that we do now, it might not see a massive significant difference or impact on day one, but it might impact your business for the life of the business after this. So it's worthwhile to see everything that you do moving forward. So yeah, beautiful. And reviewing your stock and your menu is one of them.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to have a look at reviewing stock in your menu, and Boaz is going to help us with this. So one of the main reasons we've been looking into reviewing your menu and your stock is partially to boost cash reserves. We know that a lot of cafes really need the cash reserves right now.
Thanks, Mariah. So, guys, when I was looking at what Mariah's covered up till now and through the movie and stuff like that, it really, and if, I don't know if you noticed, but my background's changed. And the reason is where I was sitting before on the other side of the house, a truck came and idled outside the window. And I was like, okay, I can't talk this way. So I just moved myself to another place. And this is pretty much the word that I want to try and help you grab onto is adaptability. At this time, the more you're adaptable, the faster you can move, the more you will have an impact to preserve cash now so that you can move and meet the future with the changes and the resources, time and money to meet when things come back to or come out of lockdown. So some ways that we've implemented, and I'll try to give you some examples, is for every part-time employee that you can either stand down and they can get money from the government, or for every 20 hours, you could be saving $600 to $800 per employee. So if you got floor staff and you move yourself into a takeaway menu, you probably don't need them. And now you can save $600 to $800 per part-time employee, which drops straight down into your cash reserves. The other thing is you need to ask for what you want. Don't assume that people will come and offer you stuff. So ask by a simple email to one of our landlords to save $3,000, which is a 50% reduction of our monthly rent, and that's money that's now sitting in our bank and not in the landlord's bank. Now, some will, some won't, but if you ask, some will give you more, some will give you less. The other thing is a really cost-effective way. If you're paying weekly for your consumable goods, anywhere from your milk to your coffee to your vegetables, and you ask for a deferral or change the term from 7 days to 30 days, and have a massive impact. So for instance, if your food costs are $2,000 to $3,000 a week, and you ask for a 3-week deferral, that's an extra 6 to 9 grand that you will have in your bank at the end of the month. And that doesn't mean that you don't have to pay it, but what it means is that you will have this cash to meet the challenges and the opportunities that come up in 3 to 4 weeks. And again, we don't know how the lockdown is going to go, and what we need to do is try and preserve every single dollar that you can. Another thing is that we reviewed all our insurances this week across the board and managed to save $200 to $300 across the board. And that's, it's something that you should be doing anyway. But now that we possibly, don't have that many customers to serve, or that we need to preserve cash more than ever, that's a really easy tick. And again, we reviewed our electricity and gas, and it moved from one supplier to the same. And it's a commodity. It's not like one gas and one electricity is better than the other. We've managed to save over $1,000 per location just by moving from one to another, and that's in the next 12 months. And the other one is by reconfiguring your menu, going from sit down to takeaway, you can possibly rationalize and consolidate the amount of appliances that you use. So if you've got 2 or 3 fridges, you might be able to consolidate 3 into 2 or 2 into 1. And again, shut that fridge down, save on electricity. And again, that will show up in a month time, and that will put you in a better cash position. So this time is about adaptability and about reserving and boosting your cash reserves as much as you can at the moment.
Wonderful. We also have a savings comparison tool, which you can access on our website at independentcafes.com.au. We'll also send it out on the email. This is an amazing tool where you can literally upload your invoices into the tool. So it can be your coffee invoices, it can be your dairy invoices, your small goods. And if we can help you save with anything, we will review it all and get back to you. So such a handy tool to have immediate savings that we can help you with.
Yeah, absolutely, Mariah. And this is again another example of another way to save is by joining a bigger group. You are able to possibly access volume discount, which is what the big boys or the franchise have, because when you buy as one cafe, you only have power as one individual. But when you're part of a group of hundreds of cafes, you have more power with the suppliers because you're leveraging on the collective. So that's another fantastic way to save.
Absolutely. And next we have a few more tips from some of our cafes. Just to keep in mind, we always reiterate these, but if you can take away anything from the webinar at all, even if it's 1 or 2 points, it's incredibly valuable. So this is pickup and takeaway options, reducing your menu to offer 1 meal a day for a family of 2 or 4 can make a huge difference. So family meals. Paying it forward, allowing a pay it forward scheme so customers can buy a meal from your cafe at cost to pass on to a person in need. So we all need to support each other at this time. And we've been seeing this really working in the cafes, and it's very heartwarming. It really boosts morale. It's great to see other people looking after each other. Providing that option is really great. Staples and dry goods, so offering other things that people can purchase, from ground coffee to pasta, anything that saves them having to go into the grocery store can go really well. It's worth trying it out in your location. Obviously depends on where you are. Getting the word out there. Remember to keep communicating with how you are changing business in the challenging times, updating your hours, asking the community for support. Delivery services, providing delivery services so people can order bulk cooked meals or that will feed their whole family, or just having delivery services so they can order from at home in general makes a huge difference, whether that be your own driver, whether that be through other platforms. Definitely need delivery services at this point in time, given that the businesses are now takeaway. Now we have our Q&A. So.
Right. And as fast as we wanted to run with this, I think we only have just a couple of minutes to do that in time. So I'll just throw it out there that if anyone have any questions, just feel free to get in touch with us directly. We decided to open the lines and help whoever needs help with what we can. So just feel free to do that. All righty. First question.
Well, I had a colleague ask a question that probably appropriate for Mariah. Is that like how important or how effective are the Google ratings of the business? Can you maybe give us some insight into that, Mariah?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Google ratings, Facebook reviews, all of them at the moment are probably more important than ever before, because statistics have shown that 75% of customers look up a business before they visit, and it's an immense amount. When was the last time you went to a restaurant or a cafe without looking them up online? Even if you're just looking up, what's open around me, that's what comes up. The name of the cafe, reviews. This makes an absolutely massive difference. And I think one of the quotes I always remember is one from Warren Buffett, who said something along the lines of, it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. So your online presence does make a very big difference, and it's something we've been working on with a lot of our cafes, encouraging them to ask for more reviews, encouraging them to respond to reviews in a timely manner. Even if you do get bad reviews and you can be the best cafe in the world and someone can come in and go, you know what, I don't like this and that, how you respond to it can make a massive difference. So how to tackle negative reviews, how to gather reviews, these are all things that are really important. Ask for reviews, have signage so people know that you are on different platforms and can support you and follow you. We have a full review kit that we roll out with members of Independent, where we literally help them with signage so that they can gather more. And we have been gathering, 65 reviews in the past few months for the cafes, which is a great number to have. So very, very important. That's a great question.
Beautiful. Another last one, if we can squeeze one. I know that a lot of people asking these days if it's a good time to set up the second one or to get into the cafe industry. And Buzz, you wanna throw a few words there?
Yes, I'm happy to weigh into that. Thank you, Tal. It's interesting. They did some research, and in the last 100 years, they found that the most amount of wealth and opportunities that was created in the last 100 years was in the Great Depression. You see, when people at the lowest and when the industry is at the lowest is when people are, first of all, things are cheaper, easy to access. People are open to considering options that they haven't considered before. And the most amount of wealth was accumulated in the first part of the century was definitely during the Great Depression. And this is because, and we find ourselves, I'm not in a Great Depression, thank God, but we are finding ourselves in an extraordinary time where people are under extreme pressure from all sorts of ways, and some cafes and some other businesses are not going to make it through. That means that you're going to have heaps of opportunities to jump in, but you need to jump in a smart way. You need to know why it failed, and you need to know how to build it back up. So there's heaps of opportunities to renegotiate with your suppliers, heaps of opportunities to negotiate with your financiers, with your landlords, and mostly with looking at new opportunities. This is probably the best time to look for opportunities. And I would encourage you to either reach out to us or to anybody and just look at what's available. You'll see a flood of businesses on. Statistically, they've done research and they found for every 20 businesses that is trying to sell these days, there's only one genuine buyer. What do you think the other 19 are going to do? Most of them are actually going to have to close the doors and walk away with nothing. So if you can offer them something, either a little bit or ongoing, you can find amazing opportunities of some fabulous businesses from people who've just, the timing in the marketplace has not played in their favor and the resources just dwindle. And you can come with new energy, new resources to take that opportunity and really cement your future. So I think it's the best time that we've seen in the last 20 years to negotiate on everything.
Amazing. Don't miss that opportunity. Okay, so got to wrap up. Just quickly, free resources. We have the savings comparison tool, which is now on our website, is new. Do take use of this. It's a great tool. You've got nothing to lose. Put in your invoices, see if you can save something. We also sent out the independent filter for social media posts to really transform your photos to anyone that's subscribed to our mailing list. You can also contact us on our Instagram or our Facebook for more tips, and also if you would like to have that. So reach out to us. We're friendly, we don't bite. We're here to help as many cafes as possible. How are you supporting each other? Just finishing off on that note, have a think about how we are all helping each other, particularly in times like this. If you have great ideas, feel free to share it with us. We're trying to collate them. We're trying to help as many people as possible, support your other local cafes and one another. What is next? Next, we will be looking at a roadmap to opening. So regardless of when that is, we are going to be preparing to come out of lockdown eventually. And we want to do that in the best position possible. So our next webinar will be focusing on that. In the time being, whilst we are locked down, if you do need help with any optimizing or you have any questions for our experts, feel free to reach out on us. You can do so via our website. You can do so via our social media channels. We're on Instagram and on Independent Cafes. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. We're absolutely everywhere. So thank you for joining us and wishing everyone the best.
Absolutely.
Thank you. See you
Thank you.
later.
Thank you, Mara.